All Excess with Danny Zalesko and Tim Richards.
Away from the music for a second, this is a psychedelic question because there's this massive resurgence of psychedelics now, and not just from a recreational standpoint, but from a mental health standpoint, microdosing, all of these things that are being evaluated and being studied now. How do you feel about all that?
Good question. A good friend of mine, a guy named Paul Stamets, is something of an authority on mushrooms in particular. And between he and I, we have I'm not sure that there aren't other folks who have the same feeling about this, that there's some sort of benevolent spirit that's involved, that if you take all mushrooms together, or it might be different little facets of that overall benevolent spirit that each different kind of mushroom. But if you lump them all together, there's some sort of benevolent spirit that kind of has a fondness or a fond regard for humanity, and wants to help us through our perhaps help us through our destructive impulses and predilections, and in return for sort of straightening ourselves out and straightening our ways and correcting ourselves, what it seems to provide is a little bit of help in finding your footsteps, if you will.
Yeah.
And mostly in his regards, finding the right path and not being destructive and that kind of a thing. And I think I'm kind of surmising or not surmising, but rounding up the conversations I've had with Paul. And he made a movie, by the way, not long ago, or it wasn't his movie, but he was featured in it, called, what is it? Fantastic Fungi.
I've seen it. It's great.
And it's eye-opening because it's about mushrooms in general, not just psychedelic mushrooms. In fact, very little of it is about that.
Fantastic Fungi.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix, and it's beyond interesting. It's illuminating and more.
I think the world needs a little bit more of that mindset that you're talking about now.
Yeah,
we're wound a little too tight these days.
And just talking about it makes people angry.
Right?
Well, they're obviously Satanists.
No.
Give me a
don't knock it till you try it, right?
Right.
All Excess